Good afternoon. It's been a
Right.
long weekend.
It has been a long weekend.
It was
About
a
a
good
thousand,
weekend.
about 1,000 miles of driving. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did about 1,200. I had a I had a really big circle I had to make. I had to see some people while I was a lot closer to them than what I would be if I was at home. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty cool.
But the cookout is always good. Cookout is always a good deal. So,
So lots of great people, and I've got some pictures. I'm not great at taking pictures, but I did see a lot that were taking of it. So I borrowed them so we could share them with the people that maybe aren't a member of North Carolina's GBA and they're not in the group or they weren't there or whatever, so they could get that feel.
should have taken a picture of the food line.
There's one
Couple
of
kinds of barbecue. They had tacos.
enchiladas.
I didn't see the enchiladas. I had
Well,
tacos.
what was the corn piece?
Oh, tamale.
Yeah,
Tamale.
the tamale.
Tamale.
My bad. They
Yeah.
they had tamales.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it was great. Hey Corey, I hadn't seen him in a while. Good to have you here live with us.
He might be on a different shift. So
Yeah, you never know.
you never know.
Um, so let's go through this.
Okay.
This is the new officers, and
I only know
great.
Gerald. I only know Gerald. So
Yeah, I'm not really good with names, and they weren't publicized, so I'm gonna wait and let them do that. It's not my job. So, but the picture was public, and the people that know him, they know him. Let's see. That picture did not turn out really well at all. Um, it's way out of focus, but this picture is me and Jeff, and got to see some friends. There's some I didn't get pictures with all of them, but there's one that I believe Melinda took that picture of the booth that we had set up there. Here's some more pictures, some people. Just lots of folks came. There's folks came just to see each other. I heard people, man, I ain't seen you since last year. How are you?
yeah,
Stuff
it
like
is more
that.
of a family reunion, and this is our second year going, and
Yep.
that's really what it felt like, right? All the faces that you seen last year coming up, now they got stories to tell you, right? How life's treating them. You get to meet some new guys, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we sold a ton of Show Pro. Well, not literally a ton, but I don't know how many you sold, but I know we sold like
Um,
eight, eight, 8 or 9 40 pounders.
it was nine 40-pound bags left, and a little over 20 of the 10-pounders.
Right?
And I had a few guys that I actually gave them a promo code for because they had flown and they wanted the 40, not the 10, but their suitcase wouldn't hold the 40. It's like, well, I don't know that I'd want to lug it through an airport either. So
Uh-huh.
well, let me give you a few bucks off of that.
Oh well, you got to
So
you got to start out with the starter pack first, anyway, right? So we
I
did
mean,
have a
and a
we
lot
had
of
a couple
people,
of newbies that bought 40 pounders, right? Because it
they
is a
did.
really good deal to get the 40 pounder.
A
So,
lot of people had a lot of people there were telling people how it's worked for them over the years, what it's done for their chicks, how it's helped lower their feed bill, the whole 9 yards. And people were like, oh, really? Yes. I mean, it's
how many people you think were there? I'm guessing 500, 4 to 500.
I mean,
More than
there.
four, maybe not five.
I think it might have been even more than that.
I don't know.
I was thinking 600 to 700.
It was bigger than last year. right?
It was a lot bigger last year,
No, a
and
lot bigger this year than last year.
yeah,
I
that's
thought
what.
there was more. Yeah. Okay.
Um, there was, this year they had like a whole barn that people put their cell birds in. Well, last year that was all together. So that that was there, and then instead of having the auction under the tent, they had the auction in like an outdoor concert arena almost. I mean, it was pretty huge people. Dwayne says that they're saying 700 folks,
Yeah. Dwayne said
and that's
700. So,
that's pretty close. That's what I was thinking, somewhere in that neighborhood. The
Dwayne was trying
auction
to.
was huge.
Dwayne was trying to help us sell. And Dwayne, we always appreciate you, brother. We always appreciate you, brother. Even when you can't hear us talking, we still appreciate you. Okay.
That's right. Yeah. Let's see. Kelly's checking in from Canada.
All right.
So, yeah. And this person right here, I think they're new to watching the show, which, we told several people about the show. So I do figure that some new folks will come on.
Yeah.
But this statement right here is 110% true. There's some good people there.
There's a lot of good people there. I only felt like there was only 10 or 12 crooks there. So, and they didn't come to talk to us. So we're all right. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this is not pre people getting started. I think this is like midway into it. But there's a lot of food. And if you didn't get it on time, there was some loaves of bread left.
Yeah. There wasn't much left when I went through. Did you even go through? Did you get away from the booth?
I didn't.
All right. You only ate the taco I gave you? All right.
Yep. And I will say that Tony Manning, he's a really nice guy. And there were several people that made comments about how they missed not seeing him this year. For those that don't know, he passed away a couple months back, but he was a huge asset to the Gamefowl community. And, that was his place. I mean, he's North Carolina. So definitely wasn't the same not seeing him there. So
he was kind of like that icon, that grandfather kind of role model. I don't know what
like an OG cocker.
He was the patriarch, I think, of this deal, right? He was definitely the OG cocker. So
yeah. Let's see here. Did we see Plumber? See Will Plumber?
I don't know. I don't know everybody's name yet, right? So, like I said, that's only our second year. So we're still trying to put faces to names and figure it out.
Half a day, Ethan.
There's Ethan.
Yep. Let's see here. Let's look at the next picture. I've got tons of these. Now, this person, I did not see them last year, but this picture, this dude had it. He had some really nice t-shirts. He had some nice pins. And like he set up right there on the corner and folks was wearing it out. So yeah. Plenty of vendors. Jeff Hudspeth, he was there.
Yeah.
They had boxes, both wooden boxes and shipping boxes. He had, well, for a short while, he had feet. That crap was gone quick. People even bought the bags that he opened up for people to look at. Gone. Got them. So,
are you going to the show in Texas?
So I have messaged her numerous times and emailed her numerous times to inquire about vendor spots, and I get crickets. I've had several people tell me about how huge the show is and how great it is. I wanted to go last year. I had a room booked last year, but I never could get anybody to confirm that I could come.
Did you do email or did you do like Facebook Messenger or did you even try calling? You probably just
Yes.
need a phone number.
Yes to all.
know,
I
man.
did find a phone number, called, left a message, sent a text message, Facebook message, both the personal page and the KC Ranch page and the Gallows Show page. Like, the only thing I didn't do is send a smoke signal or a letter.
You know, maybe you got to get a heavy hitter to vouch for you or something. I don't know. So,
I mean, maybe she's busy in France or something. I don't know. Here's some more shirts. Look, the shirt right there that's got the red and the blue with the birds in white.
yeah.
I've seen that in person and I've seen it on a couple of different websites. I like that. Sorry about that. I like that shirt. So I had to check that out. But I mean, Dennis was there with his water cups, and I bought more water cups because I'm having people come into the shop and ask for them, but I don't need them. The cups that I bought last year and put on my pens, they're still there. They haven't broke. They haven't cracked. They've had frozen water in them. They've had hotter than Hage Corner in them from sitting in the sun this past summer. You know, he makes solid cups. They were there though. Hats, the hat guy was there. Tons of stuff. These hats right here, and I did see some phone holsters. Those are nice. Took me a while to find the one that I have, so I didn't want to swap that out. They even had the huge fly pins with the safety wire around the bottom. That person was there. Melinda was there from the Rural Lifestyle Alliance. She was selling some calendars, giving away some candy, trying to raise money to help. You know, they have a lobbyist in Washington that helps preserve our hobby and, you know, preserve our rights to be able to do what we want to do with our chickens. I mean, it's chicken. Now, this right here, probably one of the favorite pictures. Great picture, beautiful birds that were just waiting to be auctioned off. I got a couple of them. Let's see, got some more in another one. And I do want to say also, South Carolina Gamefowl Breeder Association, they have their full size, nice looking calendars that have photo quality paper out. And every single page, when you flip it, if you look at the bottom, there's a beautiful logo on there. They got a great person to help sponsor their calendar. That person has a pretty cool logo. So y'all should buy one so you can look and see who it is.
Well, while you're on that topic,
Yep.
Dwayne needs to post where people can order, how much they are, and how much they are to mail them. So people, if someone wants a SCGBA, when the calendars are really awesome, right? I have one in my office, and you know the rooster pictures in there are great. So people need to know how to find them, Dwayne. You know, they need more instructions.
He's a little slow at that. That's all right
I
though.
know.
When his wife gets on here, if she hits the comment section, but she'll pop it out. She'll tell you who to email, who to hit on Facebook, what info. Okay, they're $22 shipped.
All right, where do they order them?
They can either I'll say this, they can get in touch with Dwayne and order them, or they can get in touch with us or with me, and I can get that to them. They can do Cash App, Venmo, send cash to the P.O. box as long as they give us an address to come back. Hey, look, you laugh, but I could not tell you how many times I have went to the mailbox and there be a 50, 2 ones, and an address on a sticky note that was printed with a label, no handwriting.
Yeah, I get it.
And you know what? I'm like,
okay,
Roll Tide, this money,
yeah.
Boom, put the order in. I know they were happy with it because they got another one that looked exactly like it. All right, Dwayne said post my number. So I'm going to post it here. So it'll go to the Facebook and everywhere
You
all at
posting
one
it?
time. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. You get it from Dwayne Ard, NCGBA at 843 504 1642. And if you have,
Did you type that in somewhere?
if you have a spammer that'll like send text messages to it at 3:00 in the morning, go ahead and add his number to that list too. They got dubbing dates on there. So, a lot of people, when should I dub? Well, check your signs. Read through your Farmer's Almanac, or pay $22 and get a calendar.
Yeah. And we did learn that Don Purdue from West Virginia has passed away.
He did.
And he's been,
I want to say that was Thursday or Friday of last week.
I haven't met him. I never met him that I know of. But yeah, his name carries a lot of weight in our industry or our group. So good guy.
Yep.
No longer with us.
That's one of the reasons why I've started going around to different farms of these old timers and interviewing them and asking them questions, because a lot of people don't want to share stuff, but when people get older, they don't really care anymore. Well, and they will tell it, and that's the only way to preserve it.
Well, you had a special stop on your way home. So when will you put your notes together? And because he won't come on the show, and he's not going to do an interview, but
he won't come on the show. He's not coming on the interview.
He won't be recorded.
So. He don't want to be recorded. He was very, because he's had some issues before with. He told me that he had some people from the Philippines come over and visit, and they were shopping, and he got a call from one of his buddies, and his buddy's like, "Hey man, you're on social media." He's like, "No, I'm not on Facebook." He said, "No, you're live on Facebook right now," and told him what the person that had him live was wearing, and that didn't work out real good for that person. But I mean, if you're gonna, he had no problems with me having a notebook, asking questions, making notes, none at all. But he did not want any cameras or anything like that, and I respect the man for that.
You can repeat you got permission to repeat what he said, right? Mm-hmm. And share the information. He just doesn't want to be on camera. He doesn't want to be recorded, and he is never going on to do an interview anywhere, right? So,
and look, when Larry Whitehead's the guy's name. He won the Slasher Cup, and he's won the Intercontinental 8-bird Derby a couple times, or he did it by himself one time, and him and somebody else did it as a pair one other time. So he's been around the block. He's shown a lot of birds. And, we talked about everything from how he likes to breed them, how he likes to feed them. And I got to be honest, a lot of folks, they think, oh, I got to change this, got to do this, got to do that. This man keeps it simple. And it's very obvious from his winnings that it works. So I'll get all that put together, and
all right,
we'll go over it. Let's see here. Look, Gerald Allen in this picture right here. When I put this over it, it cut his feet out. The man's always barefooted. It cracks me up. He hates wearing shoes, which I'll admit I hate wearing them too. But it don't matter if he's walking across gravel, concrete, or carpet. He wants to be barefooted. But he's sitting there filling out some memberships, and we got folks working the table there with him. And then we got Monique from FB McGinnis. She came up and visited with some folks and talked to us. So
I didn't see Monique. I missed her.
Well, I mean, she's only about 5 foot tall, maybe 4'10", so it's kind of hard.
Yeah, I don't know. When we were down in Myrtle Beach, you knew when she was in the room, but I didn't see her in North Carolina. So
yeah,
but that's all right.
Yeah, she was there. She came up to me and gave me a hug. When we were in South Carolina at the annual convention 3 months ago, back in August. She and I met. She met my wife and a couple of the kids. It was pretty nice, and we just kind of hit it off. So it's always really good seeing folks like that. You don't get to see them forever, but when you do get to see them, it's like a family reunion.
Yeah.
So it worked out really nice.
Let's see everybody to hit the like button and show some decorum, and appreciate your Rex. Thanks for bringing that up. So
yeah,
that's how we survive.
And I actually I'm trying to get this picture uploaded of the calendar so people can see what it looks like. Because, I mean, to me, the quality of it's really nice. I really like it. Let me see if I can pop it up here real fast. Wow. It cut off part of the bird's head. When I think it was the way it was formatted. But I mean, I like it. Let's see if I can actually change something. There we go. If I take away the outline, you can see August, and look at that picture in the bottom. That picture in the bottom left almost looks as good as that bird. That's a really nice looking bird, though. That is a Harold Brown McLean. But that's the calendar you get. And if you're planning for August 2026, the 5th, 6th, and 7th, that's going to be when you need to dub your birds. Great information to have, because a lot of people, they didn't have a mentor that gave them that kind of stuff and told them about that. Because I've heard of some people that they didn't have really good luck when they dubbed birds their first time. And I'm like, when was it? Oh, it was a Saturday afternoon in August. What was the heat index? About 110. And when was the last moon cycle? I don't know. Well, sorry. It was unfortunate. You should have had some Redmond clay or something to put on its head to help. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it works like clotting compound. It's just so
You know, whatever person is feeding, their feed might not have had enough vitamin K in it.
yeah. You know, you don't really need to overdo the vitamin K, right? If you get your moon phase right,
You don't need it at all.
that's half the battle, right?
And look, this picture right here, this is where the cell barn is. There's the guy on the right side of that picture. You know, that's one that is actually the president of the United Gamefowl Breeder Association, Dwayne Art. He's there. That is in the barn where they had all the birds that they were selling. And if you look at the picture in the middle on the right hand side, that's where the stage was that they were auctioning birds off. They had tons of seating because last year they did it up under the tent where the vendors were. And even the auctioneer said it was a nightmare because people all over the place were raising their hand and they couldn't see or keep up. So, which is a good problem, but
it's kind of
they
tight
filled that
quarters
barn
in the
up
vendor
too.
tent. Yeah.
So I threw this in here because I was going through some pictures. A lot of folks ask about how I put grit out in the runs and in the pens and stuff for, grow outs and that sort of stuff. Not, when they're in a pen, you use a cage cup. That's kind of obvious. But this is the concrete block. When they're young, they need the grit. Stick it in the ground. You can be like me and stick it in the ground where you can drive over it with a lawnmower, or you can not be extra and stick it on top where you have to weed eat around it. Put your grit in it. You don't have to worry about it's not going to get dirty because every time it rains, it'll wash it off, or you can hit it with a hose pipe, whatever. It's there. They know when they need it, and they don't get it when they don't. But despite what some folks believe, they don't eat the rocks in the dirt and get the grit that they need.
Oh wait, they will eat the rocks that they find
That are the right
dirt.
size.
Here's the thing, and I'll challenge anybody that doesn't live on a gravel quarry. Go dig up 1 square foot of dirt about 1 inch deep, because that's all the further they're going to dig, 1/2 inch to 1 inch deep. Screen it and tell me how many 1/4 inch stones they're going to find. Right?
Yeah.
Right. Now, an adult bird needs 1.6 ounces of grit per month. All right. So when you dig up that square foot, tell me how many you got. Now, most of the gamefowl farms I've been to, a lot of those pens have been in the same place for a long, long, long time. Right. So I am not convinced that there's any of the right size stones left. But anyway, you got to quit bringing up grit because you're going to get me on my soapbox. I'm going to piss somebody off.
Well, I mean,
I like
they don't
Cody's
have
comment.
teeth.
I like Cody's comment about dubbing, right? If you don't have the sense to look at dubbing dates and find out what they are, in my opinion, you do not need the birds, right?
Right.
So, amen to that.
If you don't have the sense to do it, or at least the sense to ask somebody, you don't need them. And if your biggest complaint is that the feed is too expensive, you got too many birds. So, yeah. And we're on Google now. We finally got all that stuff squared away. So you can hit that QR code. It'll take you straight to the Google review page. You can leave us a review.
Is that going to scan with the chicken in the middle?
Yep.
Okay. You tried it.
I just did, yeah.
Okay.
I saw that. I was like, oh, crap, the chicken's there, but it will do it.
It had enough to pick it up. I'm going to try it just for shits and giggles.
Hey, I like shits and giggles. Put those shits and giggles in the Google review too. I mean, and I'll say this, Jeff, if you don't leave any of the ShowPro products a great review, then that's kind of shit on you, since you wrote the formulation for all of it. So if anybody left a great review, I would think that you would be partial to your stuff, what you made, your creation. I mean, I knew what I wanted. You just knew how to put it all together and make it work.
That was easy, right? The QR code did work.
Okay.
And I went there, and it took me all that, 10 seconds to make that happen. So
appreciate it.
Yeah. Rex thinks I need to get on my soapbox, but I don't know how many more slides you got.
So I don't have any more slides. I was thinking we might have some questions.
You know what? Everybody listening tonight, if they don't know by now how passionate I am about the requirement for feeding grit, right, for a chicken. Look, not feeding your chicken or offering your chicken grit is cruel and inhumane, and you're an asshole. So give up the chickens and give them to somebody else.
I mean, even your dog agrees.
Yeah, well, one of the cats tried to share the couch with the dog, and that dog didn't hunt.
So, and look, a lot of people, they don't, whatever, but I'm in the final stages of a feed trial where the feed that has the supplement in it and grit is a part of the feed trial with one of the big name brands that's nationwide that starts with a K. And there is another name brand that's pretty big in the Southeast. And I have heard of people that were able to get their stuff a little further out. Starts with a T. And the stuff you can get from Tractor Supply, the good stuff, not the Do More, because Do More actually does less. But in this trial, we've got poultry, obviously, and we're looking at everything from growth rate from chick to point of lay, time frame for chick to point of lay, the amount of feed consumed, the growth rate, and the hatchability and the fertility in the eggs. And now we're on generation number 2. So we've hatched out quite a bit from the birds. Now the second set of birds is starting to lay eggs, and we're going to get those hatches. So we'll have the data to show people where and what is going on when they feed a better quality feed. And when I got to say, some of the numbers on the amount of feed consumed is kind of weird, because really expensive feed that their commercials lead you to believe is really good, the birds are eating a lot of it. And they're not eating so much of the plain brown bag that has some supplement in it and grit. It's like in one particular cage, it was 37% less.
When are you going to wrap that trial up?
So we're going to do we've got the first set, like the second generation of birds started laying. We waited a week and then collected for a week and put them in the incubator. And we'll probably hatch out a couple more. And then we're going to go through the data, organize it, and get it out. Now, I will say it's not me doing the research. It's actually somebody that was very skeptical until they started doing the research. And yeah. Now, another thing too, look, ShowPro is not just for your chickens. It's for your puppies too.
Yeah,
It's for your adult dogs.
yeah, she's definitely going to provide more milk. So if that female Pyrenees, if that bitch is healthy, right, and she's cranking out the milk, the puppies grow faster and healthier, and all that stuff passes right through. So
Well,
it
I
ain't.
know Dwayne's feeding regimen for his dogs, and they eat a little bit of Value Pack Black kibble. They eat mackerel, and they eat Showpro every day. It works for mine too. Mine
Yep.
love it. And if you kind of go heavy on the kibble, my youngest dog, that little heifer will pull the mackerel out first, and then she'll get to the rest. Let's see. Corey says that he wait. That's not. Yeah, this was the
Oh,
one I was looking at.
yeah.
He prefers granite grit once a week. He personally don't like oyster shell, but granite grit at least once a week, 4 ounces in a 5-gallon bucket. And hey, look, that's great because oyster shell is not grit.
Yeah,
Oyster shell is a
I'm
source of
glad he
calcium.
posted that. Right. So depending on what you read and who you listen to, some people refer to oyster shell as soluble grit, but it doesn't last long enough in the digestive tract to function well as grit. And granite is by far and away the best grit out there. Actually, the white granite, which used to come from Mount Airy, North Carolina, but they quit bagging grit, so that source is no longer available. But the white granite seems to be the preference of the bird over the red and some of the other colors. But I appreciate Cody posting that because I agree 100%. Right. That's granite is the way to go.
And Corey, it's funny that he says this. It works wonders with black bears and wild hogs. You are actually not the only person that I know that will use that with bear hunting. I know somebody that bought a literal asinine amount of trail mix and has mixed it and had really good luck. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Well, that high quality fish, sardine fish meal that's in there,
Yeah.
it's going to put a scent off for a long, long, long ways, right? It's going to draw them in a long ways.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing what Cody, he got 2 5-month-old pullets, one that just hatched off 7, and one sitting on 12 that aren't even hers.
Yeah.
So,
hey, I'm going to tell you right now, if that pullet is sitting on 12 eggs that aren't hers, if she raises those chicks, you need to find the heaviest, dutiest, bulletproofest, best breeding pen you can find and put her in it. Because that is a outstanding hen.
well, if she's a pullet and she's already got that mothering instinct and only 5 months old, she's going to be the real deal when it comes to being a mature hen, right? So you're right. That's something you want to. That's an instinct that you need to keep in that bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let that one slip away by stupidity like dogs, wildlife, or
Yeah,
whatever.
and right here it goes to talk about the vigor and the overall health. He never saw it, but now that he's unlocked his bird's genetic potential, he sees it, and he's gonna like it. Let's see here. All I'll say, if you're not feeding grit daily, try it. The difference will surprise you.
Yep.
When people ask me, they're like, "Man, I just need to save money on my feed. I spend too much on feed." I tell them, buy
You
you a
got too many
50-pound bag
chickens.
of grit.
I tell them you got too many chickens.
Well,
Right?
nobody wants to hear that.
Well, if you're stealing groceries from the family and your wife's riding your ass because the feed bill's bigger than the house
Grocery
food
bill.
bill, we
Yeah.
got a problem.
That
Right?
is a problem. I'll admit.
Houston, we have a problem. So,
But if you do agree it every day, you could drop it potentially 20%.
depending on the feed, you can drop it 10 for sure.
Yeah.
20 on some, but
See, we got some more.
yeah,
Cody says if the Rapido is the same as the Show Pro I bought this weekend, it'll continue to happen. That's a promise. Well, buddy, I'll tell you the truth. Literally, the only difference in I had a bag of Rapido and I had a bag of Show Pro, and folks could read the label. Literally, the only difference is the pictures on the label. The words and everything in the bag is the same.
I don't know who's, yeah, because that came up earlier today. Somebody asked me, Birdman Benny asked me, if it was the same because he had heard a rumor that, it wasn't. And I don't know who started that rumor. I'd love to know because, as Hank Williams Jr. would say, I'd like to spit some beech nut in that dude's eye because, I don't know who's spreading that bullshit, but it's pissing me off.
Part of me wonders how far you'd have to travel just to spit that beech nut.
I'd do it, and I would do it.
I have my suspicions, and
distance has never been a problem for me. So,
hey, I have a passport, and I will travel, and I'm actually going where my suspicion is in January.
Well, I don't have any proof, but I have suspicion.
Dwayne said he feeds 1,300 pounds a month.
A feed.
Okay, so he's been to a meeting or two before because he actually admits he's got too many chickens. But his birds get 2.5 ounces per bird a day.
A feed.
2.5 ounces of feed. That's all I feed.
Yeah.
And he also says the Philippines is a long way to spit. Well, not when you get off of the tarmac in the Philippines.
Not when you land in Manila.
Yep. Let's see. No, you only live once, man.
No, Rex. I have fears, right? Like my mother, my father, God rest his soul. My grandfather would spit beech nut in my eye if I said something wrong. So no, there's people that, well, I don't want to say that I fear, that I have a high level of respect for.
Yeah.
Because I know they're going to whoop my ass. Okay. So, but I also don't go for people spreading bullshit rumors. Right. So I ain't.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like lies. To me, if you want to lie a lot like that, that just says you don't have any cojones. Tell the truth. The truth will set you free. And if all you can do is lie and spread rumors, then you suck. Go away.
Yeah. Okay. Just, for the guys listening tonight or whoever watch it later. Okay. Look, the Fertility Show and Breeder supplement came first, and the Rapido came after that. They're the same formula. Okay. Now we're doing away with the Rapido name because of previous affiliations with certain people, and we're going over to Show Pro. The other thing is the Rapido label raises suspicions when going through things like customs, UPS, and different shipping modes. So we don't need to draw any unnecessary attention to your address or ours, but we make all of these at our company, Fertility, my company at Fertility in Bainbridge. And I told Birdman Benny, I said, you know what? If you're cruising through Pennsylvania and you want to see a batch of Show Pro supplement being made, I will gladly show you the formula, how it's getting made, how it gets bagged. I'll buy you lunch. Okay. But
Ooh, are you gonna take them to that pizza place that's a couple miles down the road?
You know what? That's the only choice we got. Half a mile down the road is that mom and pop pizza, Italian shop, right? But the food is good.
Yes.
The food is really, really good. Now you're going to need a gallon of sweet tea because they like their salty stuff, but it is good.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody else have any questions? Jeff, what did you think? What did you think? How? I mean,
what
you're semi started on a soapbox. What did you think about the show and how it was? And what's your opinion?
You mean North Carolina?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's great. Okay, last year was our first year. We only probably got to meet, like 6 or 8, maybe 10 people that either knew us or had already tried Rapido, now Show Pro, right? This year was completely different, right? Now you're talking like 30 or 40 people come by, have already heard about it, maybe hadn't tried it yet, or people that this is where they get their 40-pound fix for the year, right? They get their 40-pounder, they go home, put it in the freezer, repack it, put it in the freezer. But, the conversations were a lot better for me this year. The new people I got to meet, right? The conversations I got to have, people that I saw last year, like Adrian Chavez down in Georgia, they're 2 years back to back. It's building relationships, with guys. And that's the important part. It's not whether you bought anything or you didn't buy anything, right? It's just coming in, asking some questions. You know what? If I can help you out, I'll help you out. If I can't, I'll tell you, I don't know. I don't have the answer. Right.
Look, we talked to lots of folks that I enjoyed. I had great conversations with, and they did not buy jack.
No.
And I really don't care.
What I really appreciate this year is the first year we went, we had some, redneck, backwards ass, dumbasses come by and they say, oh, 44% protein. You burn the damn rooster up with that. And I'm thinking, are you just a freaking moron or what? You're only giving a teaspoon of it. You ain't burning nothing up, right? But I didn't say that out loud.
Sometimes folks just can't read the label, man. They don't read the instructions.
So. But we didn't have any of those this year, right? So, I'm thankful for that, right? But
maybe the marketing we're doing is working.
I think each year is going to get better for us there. I honestly do, as long as we don't miss it. And I'd love to see more of the guys listening to the show up, stop by, tell us your story, tell us what's going on. You got questions, you need help, whatever. Just stop by, shake my hand, smile if that's all it takes. But if you come next year, because I suck at taking pictures too, let's make sure we get selfies, so when we come back and do the recap show, right, we can get.
Well, hey, what I would like is the folks that did come take pictures with us. I'd love it if they post it, tag me, because then I could have them. Because my wife was like, hey, I'm gonna put some stuff together for you. Did you take some pictures? I went 4. she just laughed, and she said, well, it's kind of hard to do it if you don't. So Rex wants to know what's favorite battlecross, favorite breeds.
That's like talking politics and religion, you know that, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, people are welcome to answer in the.
I was going to say, I would like to just see the people to answer it themselves in the comment section. Everybody answer. Tell us what your favorite is. And
man, somebody's gonna get shot.
No, but hey, we keep the comment section active. Corey, I have not seen for sure a date.
I'll bet you it's going to be the 17th next year, Corey.
Is
right?
that the third
It's
Saturday in the month?
it's always the same time, right?
So that's the third Saturday.
I'm looking. It is the third Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is the third Saturday.
And you can stay tuned to the show because we'll be there. We talk about it, and we also post on social media our schedule when we get lined up for shows, where we're going to be and all that good stuff. Like, I'll give an example while we're here talking. Alabama Gamefowl Breeder Association. There, it is coming up really soon. Is it let's see. It is
November, wasn't it November 1st?
I want to say it is November 1st.
I think it's the first. Somebody asked me if I could make it there. But
Yeah, it's the 1st. Ohio is the 8th. The 15th, I will be home. And if I can get somebody to respond, the 22nd, that Saturday, is the show in Texas. My family Thanksgiving is that Sunday, so I will probably be flying out there and flying home.
if you can get into the Texas show,
I can drive.
All right.
And drive all night.
So Adrian Chaparro stopped by the booth, right? And introduced himself and shook my hand. And he asked me, he goes, didn't you used to be on Kenny's show? What, you were on Kenny's show, right? Yeah. I go, yeah, I got fired. He goes, what? Yeah, I got fired. Yeah. What do you mean you got fired? Well, I got fired, right? He didn't, Kenny didn't want me talking with Douglas Bruce and other gamefowl people. He thought it was going to draw the wrong attention. So he told me my services were no longer needed. Alrighty. So,
I mean, whatever.
We do have a question. So is the Rapido /OPRO the same or different from the breeder pellet? The breeder pellet is different. Okay. Mm-hmm. To make that pellet, full disclosure here. Okay. So everybody hears this. Full disclosure. So in order to make a really nice pellet that will ship across the country, we have to put something in it to hold it together. And that something is wheat middlings, which is the outer skin off of the wheat. When they mill it for bread, all right, and it makes an excellent pellet. So it's almost about half wheat middlings. So the strength of that pellet is about half of regular ShowPro. Just being honest with you. But, people want to have a pellet. They got to have a pellet. Somebody convinced them, brainwashed them, whatever, drank the Kool-Aid that they got to have a pellet. So in order to make you a really good pellet that's not going to be dusty when it gets to the other side of the country, Hawaii, Guam, whatever, that's what we had to do to make a good pellet. So,
I mean, it's got to be. And you can, when you look at it online, when you look at the guaranteed analysis on the pellet, it has the actual label for it, and it'll tell you the amount of protein and everything that's in those pellets. And I'm not 110% sure how the math worked out the way it did. It's not quite half, because the wheat mids do have some nutritional value to it. But yeah, that is it.
Luis is giving me a hard time. I had to gather myself to say wheat middlings. Yes. Every time I say that, right, I feel like I need to take a dump or something.
Look, when the first time I ordered some, because getting them local is a nightmare. So I ordered. I was like, "Hey, I need you to send me 5 bags of these." And she said, "Huh?" I was like, "Yeah." Stop. I'm busy. I ain't got time to play. I'm being dead serious. I got to make some pellets. I mean, like my grain lady thought I was kidding. So,
Well, you've never ordered them before, and she knows how much we're against like pellets and bullshit. So, you know, all right. So
she thought I was bullshitting her.
I'm gonna wrap this up. Oh wait, he's been using the Rapido Show Pro for some time already. What are the pellets comparable to? Well, they're not a feed, right? So they're not the Show Pro pellets are not like a feed. They're still a supplement. They're still a supplement, but you know, because we had to put the wheat middlings in there, all right, you should be feeding twice as much as you did before, right?
Yeah.
But
it's got the wheat mids in. And so you use a teaspoon per bird of the powder, and you use a tablespoon of the pellets. Yeah.
Corey's looking for Show Pro hats.
Okay, so I have been working on that. I mean, I've got one on. Jeff's got one. So we've been playing with some different ideas, and there will be a merch section on the website soon.
Right. We have shirts, or we don't have hats yet. So
yeah,
we got to be really fussy about the hats, right? You got to have a good quality hat. So that'll take
it's going to be a Richardson.
Okay.
Because
all right, so I'm going to bring this up because I wanted to bring it up for the last 3 shows, and I keep forgetting this, right? And we're going to end it here, and I just want guys to send us either messages. They can leave their comments here. All right. But you and I have tossed around the idea of providing an opportunity for a space, basically off grid, right? So where nobody from the public, nobody from animal rights, nobody from wherever, can come join and watch, where we can have conversations about, the right crosses, right? Or the weapon of choice, or, we can talk about things that we can't talk about in the public. Okay. Now, you researched it, and in that space to do that in a private forum cost you how much? What is that monthly cost?
If I monthly, let's see. It's about $135 a month.
All right. So, 100. Look, Carey and I are not selling enough Show Pro to bite the bullet on $135 a month. We would love to bring on people where we can just have whatever kind of open conversation about Gamefowl that you want to have. Okay. We can't do it here. You all know we can't do it here because they're going to shut us down. Right. If we use the wrong words and we say the wrong things, or we show the wrong video or whatever. So just y'all ponder if you'd be willing to share in that, somehow help with that, offset that cost. And we can start trying to line up interviews, right, with the right people, I don't know. So anyway, just think about it. We don't need the answer tonight. And guys are already saying, yep, I'm in, and, paid membership, private show. I get it. But, at 135 a month at $5 a piece, we need, 27 people, right? Now we don't need 27 people, but we need, at least 20-ish or so to help offset it. Right. But
look, Dwayne cracks me up.
Yeah.
And
So,
I get it. And that if I had $1 for every person that I've heard say that, it would have covered that year.
okay.
And I'm not going to offer a yearly option
No, I'd
because
rather just do it.
I don't want to do that.
Right.
I'd rather do it cheap per
Right.
month, float it on your card, and
Yeah.
because
Now, to make sure that we keep this somewhat safe and secure, we're almost going to have to ask you for a reference, like somebody that we know who knows you, so we can ask before we're going to let you in, right? Because we don't know all the names, we don't know everybody, right? And screen names are one thing, real names are something else. So we have to think this through. We have to make a plan.
yeah.
I would not expect to see it before the first of the year. We can start working on it from our end, but we've got to find a way to what they call vet, right? We have to validate, that make sure, who's coming in. All right. So
Yep.
we're going to work on it from our end, try and make it cost effective, try and bring in, some people that can have those, serious conversations, I mean, we can, but even more so.
And
right?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I'm looking for ways to do it not that expensive because I got Sticker Shop. The first couple of platforms that I looked at, I thought that was ridiculous.
Well, look, I just wanted to share with the guys what it actually cost.
Yeah.
And we're not trying to make money on it, right? So, if we get to 30 people that are paying the whatever, then we can drop it. If we get to 50 people, we can drop it back down to whatever that is, right? We can just,
Mm-hmm.
the more people that sign up, right, the less there is to share as far as cost, right? So it's basically a private club. No, everybody has ownership, nobody has ownership kind of thing. And, as long as there's enough people offsetting it, then, then we can do it. But I'm just,
Yeah, I mean, we were just curious. So
I was just giving out, just throwing it out there and also giving 100% transparency of what it cost. And before we fire it up, we'll give you actual like invoice numbers, whatever you need, so you can verify what we're doing. But anyway, just wanted to get that opinion, and we're good.
yeah.
All right.
And I haven't seen any questions in the comments that we needed to hit. So with that, good night.
Good
I'll
night.
see y'all next week.
We would like to take a moment to thank our friends over at ShowPro Farm Supply for their generous sponsorship and support. Whether you're raising heritage poultry, show poultry, gamefowl, or other species of livestock, ShowPro offers custom formulated feeds and supplements to help your animals reach their full genetic potential. And they don't stop at livestock. They also carry Alumacoop's movable poultry housing, plus a full line of Fertrell farm and garden products, so your whole homestead gets what it needs to thrive. Check out ShowPro Farm Supply, where nutrition meets know-how.